Learn how small actions can make a big difference in your life. What positive change would you like to achieve? Maybe you want to eat better, read more, learn a new language, or become skilled at playing the piano. However, it's not as simple as just wanting these changes. Wanting to eat more salad doesn't mean you'll actually do it, and saying you'll read more books doesn't guarantee you'll put down Netflix. That's where habits come into play. I'll guide you through the main ideas. Together, we'll discover that making significant improvements in your life doesn't require a major transformation. You don't have to completely change your behavior or become a new person. Instead, you can start by making small changes to your routine. When you consistently repeat these small actions, they become habits that can lead to significant results. Key idea 1. Small habits have a big impact. Imagine a plane taking off from Los Angeles, heading to New York City. The pilot makes a tiny 3.5-degree change in the flight path, hardly noticeable, just a few feet. The passengers don't realize it. But as the journey unfolds, that small change leads them to land in Washington, D.C., not New York City. This story is a lot like our lives. Small changes often go unnoticed. If you're out of shape today and go for a short 20-minute jog, you won't magically get in shape the next day. If you eat a whole family-sized pizza for dinner, you won't become overweight overnight. However, if you consistently make these small changes, they add up to significant results over time. Daily pizza will lead to weight gain, and daily jogging will make you leaner and fitter, even if you can't see the change right away. The key insight here is that small habits can have a powerful impact on your life, but you may not see it immediately. If you're feeling discouraged by the lack of instant change, focus on your current path instead of your current results. For example, if you're saving a bit of money each month, your savings might still be small, but you're on the right track. Keep going, and in a few months or years, you'll see substantial improvements. When it feels like you're not making progress, remember that you're doing the right things and moving in the right direction. So, how do you get on the right track? You need to develop good habits. In the next key, we'll learn how to build them. Key idea 2. Habits are automated behaviors. When you enter a dark room, you don't consciously think about what to do next. You automatically reach for the light switch. This automatic action is a habit, something you've done so many times that it now happens without you even realizing it. Habits like this play a significant role in our lives, from brushing our teeth to driving a car. They are incredibly powerful. But how do these habits form? In the 19th century, a psychologist named Edward Thorndike conducted an experiment with cats. He placed them in a box and timed how long it took them to escape. At first, the cats tried various things to get out. They pawed, clawed, and sniffed around. Eventually, they discovered a lever that, when pressed, would open the door and allow them to escape. When Thorndike put the cats back in the box, something interesting happened. Over time, the cats learned to go straight for the lever, and after about 20 or 30 attempts, they could escape in just 6 seconds. This showed that behaviors leading to satisfying outcomes tend to become automatic habits. Since Thorndike's experiment, we've learned more about habits. We now know they consist of 4 key parts. Cue. This is a trigger that prompts you to act. For example, walking into a dark room cues you to turn on the light. Craving. This is a desire for a change in your current state. In the dark room scenario, it's the desire to go from darkness to light. Response. This is the action you take, like flicking the light switch. Reward, this is the positive feeling you get from completing the habit. In this case, it's the comfort of being able to see your surroundings. Every habit follows this pattern. For instance, if you have a habit of drinking coffee every morning, waking up is the cue, the craving is to feel alert, your response is making coffee, and the reward is the feeling of wakefulness. Now that you understand how habits work, let's explore how you can develop positive habits that can improve your life. Key idea 3, making habits stick. Now that we understand how habits work, we can use this knowledge to create new habits effectively. Imagine you want to learn the guitar, but you struggle to practice regularly. You keep telling yourself you'll play later, but it rarely happens. The key is to make your cue to pick up the guitar impossible to miss. Instead of hiding your guitar in a cupboard or a corner, place it in the middle of your living room, where you can't ignore it. Making your cue visible and prominent makes it easier to turn your desire to practice into a habit. If you want to refine this process even more, use implementation intentions. These are clear plans that outline when and where you'll perform your desired habit. Let's go back to the guitar example. Instead of saying, "I'll practice guitar sometime this week," say, "On Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, when the alarm goes off, I'll pick up my guitar and practice for 1 hour." Don't forget to keep your guitar in plain sight. By creating an implementation intention, you give yourself both a clear plan and a clear cue, making it much easier to build a positive habit. Now, you might wonder if this actually works in practice. To answer that, consider the work of Dr. Anne Thorndike, a Boston-based doctor. She aimed to help her patients improve their diets and snacking habits. She knew that consciously deciding to eat healthier can be tough, as it requires a lot of willpower and discipline. Dr. Thorndike and her colleagues conducted an experiment by rearranging the hospital cafeteria. They replaced soda at the cash registers with bottled water and put baskets of water all around the cafeteria. Over 3 months, soda sales dropped by 11%, while water sales surged by more than 25%. By creating more cues for people to choose water, they helped individuals make healthier choices, showing that altering the environment can aid in adopting better habits without relying solely on conscious decisions. It's clear evidence that changing your surroundings can assist in building better habits. Key idea 4, make habits attractive with anticipation of reward. We've explored the power of habits, how they form, and how you can use cues to your advantage. Now, let's delve into the rewards aspect of building habits. In 1954, neuroscientists James Olds and Peter Milner conducted a fascinating experiment on desire. They used electrodes to block the release of dopamine, a neurotransmitter, in some rats. The outcome was astonishing. These rats lost their will to live. Deprived of dopamine, they didn't want to eat, drink, reproduce, or do anything, and they perished from thirst in just a few days. This unsettling story highlights the importance of dopamine as a motivator. When we engage in actions crucial for our survival, like eating, drinking, or reproducing, our brain releases dopamine, making us feel good. This sense of pleasure motivates us to repeat those actions. Here's where it connects to building habits. We don't need to actually perform the pleasurable activity to get a dopamine boost. Just the anticipation of something enjoyable is enough to trigger dopamine release. In the brain's reward system, desiring something is almost as satisfying as obtaining it. We can use this to our advantage when forming new habits. If we make the habit something we look forward to, we're more likely to stick with it. Let's introduce the concept of temptation bundling. It involves connecting an unappealing but important behavior with something you're naturally drawn to. This way, you leverage the power of dopamine when building a new habit. Consider Ronan Byrne, an engineering student from Ireland. He knew he should exercise more but didn't enjoy it. However, he loved watching Netflix. So, he ingeniously connected his exercise bike to his laptop and created code that allowed Netflix to run only when he pedaled at a certain speed. By linking exercise to something he enjoyed, he transformed a tedious activity into an enjoyable one. You don't need to engineer complex setups like Ronan. There are simpler ways to apply this in your life. For example, if you need to work out but enjoy reading celebrity gossip, commit to reading magazines only at the gym. Or if you want to watch sports but must make sales calls, reward yourself with half an hour of ESPN after talking to your 10th prospect. Find a way to make unattractive but important tasks enjoyable, and you'll ride the wave of dopamine, creating positive habits along the way. Key idea 5. Make habits easy to stick. We've seen that making a habit enjoyable is one way to ensure it sticks. Another powerful technique is to make it easy. Easy actions rule our lives. We scroll through social media or snack on chips because they're effortless. On the other hand, doing 100 push-ups or learning Mandarin is challenging and requires effort. That's why we don't naturally gravitate toward intense exercise or language learning in our free time. To increase the chances of forming a habit, we must make it as easy as possible. The good news is there are several ways to achieve this. One way is by reducing friction. This means removing obstacles. For example, James Clear struggled to send greeting cards, while his wife never missed an occasion. Why? She kept a box of pre-sorted cards at home, making it simple to send well wishes. She didn't need to go out and buy a card for every event, reducing the friction involved in sending one. You can apply this concept to your habits. Friction works both ways. You can reduce friction to make good habits stick, but you can also increase friction to break bad habits. If you want to spend less time watching TV, unplug it and remove the batteries from the remote. This makes it less convenient to watch, so you'll only do it when you genuinely want to. The second trick is the 2-minute rule. This rule helps make any new activity feel manageable. The idea is that you can break down any behavior into a habit that takes just 2 minutes. For instance, instead of committing to reading a whole book every week, make it a habit to read just 2 pages every night. Or if you aspire to run a marathon, commit to putting on your running gear after work. The 2-minute rule creates easy-to-achieve habits, small steps that can lead to more significant accomplishments. Once you've put on your running shoes, you're likely to go for a run. Once you've read 2 pages, you'll probably read more. Starting is the essential first step to doing anything. Key idea 6. Make habits immediately satisfying. As we near the end of our journey, let's discuss the final rule for using habits to improve your life through a story. It's the tale of a highly successful public health researcher named Stephen Luby. In the 1990s, Luby was working in a neighborhood in Karachi, Pakistan, where he achieved remarkable results. He reduced childhood diarrhea by 52%, lowered pneumonia rates by 48%, and decreased skin infections by 35%. So, what was his secret? It was Nice soap. Yes, you heard it right. Luby's significant public health accomplishments were all thanks to Nice soap. Luby understood that hand washing and basic sanitation were vital for reducing illness. The locals also knew this but hadn't turned it into a habit. Everything changed when Luby partnered with Procter & Gamble to provide high-quality soap to the neighborhood for free. Overnight, hand washing became a satisfying experience. The new soap lathered easily and smelled delightful. As a result, everyone started washing their hands because it became a pleasurable activity. Stephen Luby's story highlights the ultimate and most crucial rule for behavior change: habits must be satisfying. Making good behaviors satisfying can be challenging due to human evolution. We live in a delayed return environment, where the benefits often come later, not immediately. Our ancestors focused on immediate concerns like finding food, shelter, and staying safe from predators, rather than long-term planning. This focus on immediate rewards can make it hard to change bad habits. For example, smoking might harm your health in the long run, but it provides immediate stress relief and nicotine satisfaction, which can override the long-term risks. When trying to establish habits with delayed returns, it's essential to attach some immediate gratification to them. To illustrate this, let me share the experience of a couple the author knows. They want to eat out less, cook more, get healthier, and save money. Goals with delayed benefits. To give their goals an immediate boost, they opened a savings account named Trip to Europe. Each time they skipped dining out, they transferred $50 into the account. Seeing $50 in the savings account provided immediate satisfaction, keeping them on track for the ultimate, longer-term reward. Key idea 7. Track and commit to your habits. Now that we've learned how to build great habits, let's explore how to maintain them. Even when we make our habits pleasurable and satisfying, we can still struggle to keep them. In this final section, we'll discover how to stick to our good intentions. One effective technique for making new habits stick is habit tracking. Many successful people throughout history, like Benjamin Franklin, have used habit tracking to monitor their progress. Franklin, for instance, recorded his adherence to 13 personal virtues in a notebook from the age of 20. This included goals such as avoiding frivolous conversation and always doing something useful. Every night, he assessed his progress in each area. You can follow Franklin's lead by using a simple calendar or diary. Mark off each day that you stick to your chosen behaviors. Habit tracking is effective because it becomes a satisfying habit in itself. The anticipation and action of crossing off each day will make you feel good and keep you motivated. Another powerful tool is a habit contract that imposes consequences if you fail to stay on track. Brian Harris, an entrepreneur from Nashville, took his habit contract seriously. He, his wife, and his personal trainer signed a contract in which he committed to reaching a weight of 200 pounds. He identified specific habits, like tracking his food intake daily and weighing himself weekly, to help achieve this goal. He set up penalties for failing to do these tasks, such as paying his trainer $100 if he didn't track his food intake and $500 to his wife if he skipped weighing himself. This strategy worked because it tapped into his fear of losing money and his fear of losing face in front of two people who mattered to him. Humans are social animals, and the fear of disappointing those around us can be a powerful motivator for success. Consider setting up a habit contract for yourself, even if it's not as detailed as Brian Harris's. Make a commitment to someone you care about, whether it's your partner, best friend, or coworker, and agree upon consequences for failing to follow through. This will increase your likelihood of sticking to your habits. As we've seen, consistently following even small positive habits is a reliable way to achieve significant things in life. Final summary: building powerful habits for a better life. Creating significant change in your life doesn't happen overnight with a single behavior change. However, transforming that behavior into a daily habit can lead to profound results. Changing your life isn't about radical breakthroughs, it's about establishing a positive system of habits that, when combined, can yield remarkable outcomes. Here's one last piece of advice: use habit stacking to introduce new behaviors. If you're struggling to build a new habit, consider attaching it to an existing habit. For instance, if you want to start meditating but find it challenging to find the time, think about the activities you do effortlessly each day, like having your morning coffee. Then, simply stack the new habit on top of it. Commit to meditating each morning after you've finished your coffee, harnessing the natural momentum from an existing habit to support the new one. This approach can help you build and maintain the positive habits that lead to lasting life changes.